Hello, my name is Chaplain Joe. I'm here to get you home. Walking with my cane today. Well, more like a staff or a club. Could be a weapon. Quite a cane. 11 months ago, I broke my back, so I'm temporarily walking with a cane while I pass through this healing process. So daily, I get to walk out some wisdom concerning my healing. Some people get a miracle, and I think miracles are wonderful. And then some people get a gift of healing. Now, a gift of healing involves walking out your miracle. My process involves relaxing, not doing anything to cause my body to be in stress. So if I can keep my body in a state of peace and harmony, well, then it heals faster, it heals better. And when you're dealing with nerve damage, that's a great thing to deal with, because sometimes just talking about certain topics, you could feel your nerves just start to tense up, when your nerves are already sensitive. I have a hypersensitivity to some topics at this point right now. Anyhow, I don't need this cane. And as always, we are going to talk to you about coming home, living, preparing to live, living with intention. So we are going to talk to you about coming home, not being missing in action. A lot of people are missing in action in life, not just military people. There's a lot of everybody that has some sort of dream inside of them that they're not reaching for, or they don't feel empowered to reach for. It's somewhat missing in action. In that sense, we all have greater potential. We all have greater things we could reach for. So consequently, we're missing in action if we're not reaching for those greater things. Coming home is something that requires intention. So we need the right tool for the job. Whatever you need for that job. If you need a screwdriver, you don't use a hammer, or you don't use a hammer when you need a screwdriver. You use the right tool. Knowing when to use the screwdriver and when to use the hammer is also important. You could use a screwdriver and bang on things, and you could use a hammer and pry on things, but that's not the right tools. Let's learn about the right tools, go back and refresh on some of the tools, like keeping the 10 Commandments. It's a great tool. It's a great stress reduction tool. Not only will it'll increase your self-worth and confidence, you'll start to live in harmony with the people around you, and you will actually look up and say, nah, you're not so bad after all. And you call him Father. But you have to choose to hear and obey. A good way to live stress-free in this world is to keep the 10 Commandments. Doesn't mean that you're going to heaven by keeping the 10 Commandments. It just means that that's one way to reduce your stress. There are things that you should look at concerning the life, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and why he came to this earth, concerning what you believe about that and what you want to trust him, if you want to trust what he gave to you. And Christ freely gives us a sense of righteousness so that we can commune with God. Now we would have his ability to keep the commandments, which makes them joyful, makes them a fun process. You can keep them on your own with a lot of determination and a lot of self-will. However, it's a lot better to engage God face to face and say, great commandments, show me how to keep them. In fact, give me your ability to do this. And so it works a lot easier that way. It works a lot better that way. That's actually the way it was designed to work. When you got the 10 Commandments, they're written by God, so this is God inspired, written in stone. God spoke to Moses in a great big form of goodness. So Moses experienced God's goodness in such an overwhelming way that his face shone. It was radiating. And when he came down to talk to the people he was leading, the Israelites, they said, hey, we can't take all this shiny stuff. Put a veil over your face. Just tell us the basic stuff we want to do, and we'll do the bare minimum to get along with God. And you talk face to face for him. But God wanted to talk to every single one of them face to face at that time. And he was making his ability available to every single one of them. Unfortunately, they just came out of slavery. It was hard for them to relate to a God that was good, kind, benevolent. So it took several generations, and it's still taking several generations for people to actually say, God is actually good. He doesn't change. He's loving. He doesn't change. Let's keep his commandments. Truly know what love is. That's one of the greatest motivators for keeping the 10 Commandments right there. You want to know what love is, but the positive side, it's a stress reducer. We talked about meditation. Meditation is a great tool. I'm just recapping some things here. So on the tools, before we go into tapping, meditation is a great tool. Learn how to meditate. Learn how to get down in so that you can process your feelings while you're getting down in there. As you're getting down in there, you'll feel different things. You'll hear critical voices. You'll hear subversive things that are down as you start to meditate. And meditation is a great tool to expose subversive activity in your life that's undermining your critical systems, like, like your self-worth, your confidence, things like that, your energy. Sometimes people will have underlying feelings of sadness or just fear, just afraid of everything. These underlying feelings kind of defines them as a person in a lot of ways, but these are not things that they need to hang on to. You could actually take out those things. Anybody that meditates will find they will actually run into their negative self-talk as they start to get down there, and they'll have to face that. They'll have to let go of that. So why meditation is great, because it can quiet your subversion that is going on the inside of you. Some people call that the devil, and they rebuke that, and they'll say, "Get thee behind me, Satan!" But that means it was the devil, and now he was responsible for doing it. However, if you say, okay, this is my negative self-talk based on the programming, the negative feelings, the lies that I grew up around with, which did come from the devil. So basically it's lies that are in our feelings, lies that are in our belief systems that is creating this negative self-talk. So as you face the negative self-talk, no matter what it is, and no matter what it's creating, whether it's creating sadness or gloom, or just mad, or there's a lot of nasty feelings that people don't face. When you meditate, you have to face them. And what's nice that people that meditate, they don't allow these feelings to stack up. Oh, it's when you get stackable offenses, is that, man, you're dealing with somebody and it's like, man, they shift so quick. Just feel like, dang, I feel like I'm dealing with an emotional child. Well, you are, because they just revert it back to their emotional childhood experience of how they handled that. So you're dealing with that emotional child. However, people that meditate have the ability to face their negative feelings so that they don't allow them to stack up. If you have resentment, if you have resentment towards somebody, you're not going to get to that place of peace until you let go of their resentment. So meditation, so prime, processing negative feelings. Now, if you can't just process those negative feelings by choosing to let them go, by owning them, say, yeah, that's mine. I choose to let that go out of my life. I choose to no longer punish myself with this feeling. I choose to surrender this feeling to God, and you choose, if you can't let it go with just choosing, by owning it and choosing it, well, then tap on it, take it a little deeper. Use the special system, the operative system, the operational system of EFT, and which is prime. It's such a prime tool for taking out subversive activity that has been programmed in us. Anytime you run across propaganda that is playing, constant propaganda, and you can see this in the media. If you tell a lie long enough, people will believe it. We got lies playing on the inside of us. We got this propaganda network going on down in there. It's constant propaganda. You need to shut that down. That is against your dreams. That is against your ability. It's against you as a person, against you as someone that's made in the image of God. You shut that propaganda down. Shut that network down. Find out where that spin doctor is that's churning out that junk. And shut that down. You got to do that with a special operative tool, EFT system. You got to learn how to use it. Power of choice, power of intention, go together. When you make a strong-willed choice with intention, you're going to come home. That's huge. If you go out on a mission, and you're planning for the mission. You're looking at your warning letter. You say, hey, we're going to conduct a patrol here in this area. Blah blah blah. At such and such time, such coordinates. And this is what you might find out there. So this is the tools you're going to take. These are the weapons you're going to take. These are the supplies you might need for this patrol. So you're looking at that, and you're getting ready to possibly engage some problems, hostiles along the way. Okay, so you make preparation to make that patrol. And then you do things so that you can come back. You go on the patrol with the intention of coming back, doing whatever it takes in order to get whatever you need on that patrol. Well, in the same way, we need to take patrols into the area of our soul with the intention of taking out that subversive activity that's been destroying our dreams, destroying us as a person, attacking our self-worth, all that negative junk that's from that negative propaganda mill. Take that out, so just treat yourself like a double agent, and just be brutally hard on that. This could be defined as noise, when you're trying to meditate, and you get down in there and you get all this negative self-talk, and you get all this clutter. Some people define that as noise, clutter. It's just things that are keeping you from getting to your place of peace. Now, if you're already breathing, regulating your breathing, and you're starting to go down like 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. And then you get on like an escalator and go 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Oh, at 15, it's like, oh man, I ran into this. Oh, you're just not worth. You just don't deserve this. And I feel like, oh, I'm just not enough. I just don't feel like I'm not enough today for some reason. You know, when you get run down in there, and I'm actually trying to find something negative. I can't find anything. However, I have found negative things in this area before. And one of them was resentment. I had resentment towards somebody. And, so I got down here about 5 steps down into my meditative process, and you go down in there, it's like, oh, it's like, can't go to the next step. It's like, oh man, I want to go down. I want to get down there because I want to, it's so powerful to engage the empowering presence of Christ, in your meditative process. You visualize and write your life and all the other stuff. So it's really cool when you get there, but if you can't get there and you're stuck, got to move out some of the clutter. So my clutter was resentment. I had to go and I had to look and say, oh, yeah, I forgive that person. And then I looked again and I thought, oh, it didn't go away. So, oh, Lord, I choose to forgive them and I choose not to think. And I said a few things that out of the choice, and I looked again. It was like, okay, it's not there. So then I thought, okay, I got to move this with tapping. Even though I have this resentment towards so-and-so, I'm not going to give you his name, but I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I have this resentment towards so-and-so, I accept it. I choose to forgive, and I love myself completely. Even though I have this resentment, I choose to forgive, and I love myself completely. This resentment, oh, this resentment. Yeah, I could let it all go. I can let it go. I'm seeing it clear as I tap. Seeing it clear, and now the next step is available for me to take. So I just cleared out some clutter on step 5, and I didn't even go through all the tapping sequences, the tapping meridians as well. I went through the sequence just for the sake of going through all of them, and cleared out the next step down. Now the next step goes down, so now I'm on the next step. I can go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm feeling a little anxious. Now I feel a little anxious down there. Oh, way down here, I'm feeling about, hey, what am I feeling anxious about? I don't know. Here I am stepping down into my subconscious, and I'm feeling some clutter. Here's how you clear the clutter. Even though I'm feeling this clutter, and I call it anxiety, I love myself completely. Even though I'm clearing this clutter, and I am happy to clear this clutter, it is such a wonderful thing. I'm letting go of clutter. I love myself completely. I love letting go of anxiety. Even though I feel this anxiety, I love myself completely. This anxiety. All this anxiety. Oh yeah, this anxiety. I could let that go. Yeah, I'll just. Sometimes it's good to take a deep breath and just get it all the way down into your navel and just kind of hold it for a while and just kind of, what am I feeling down in there? What am I feeling down in there? You may find out that there's stuff down in there that you didn't realize, and you only feel it when you're coughing or choking, but feel it, process it out. It's a good way to check and find out what's really hidden down there. Okay, so I'm stepped down in here, and I'm stepping. I felt a little anxiety, and I go 12, 11, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I step into the arena called my soul. Now, my soul is a great place because there's things growing there. And I can't, there used to be mountains around it and rocks and stuff there, but I got this really cool gardener, and I just let him run the garden. That's kind of a fun process. It's an ongoing process. In my soul, if I was looking there, I do see not rocks. I could see rocks, but I put them up just for the looks. I take them down, and I could see, oh my God is out there, and He's limitless. So God takes us to a place in our souls where we can see beyond our own capabilities, and we begin to see His ability. Now, my meditation process, because I broke my back 11 months ago, has been involving me visualizing resurrection power in my legs and in my back. and I can walk. I'm walking and stuff, but I don't see myself walking with a cane or a cane. I'm just passing through with the cane. I'm enjoying it, I guess. It's a process, and I could see the end result because of meditation. I've done a lot of things in this process while healing to clear out clutter that I felt was keeping my body stressed out or keeping me in a place where I couldn't heal. And this is an important key if you are suffering from some sort of body trauma. For people that have physical injuries that are compounded, or maybe the injuries are stuck, they're not healing because you haven't dealt with the stress factors concerning those things. Meditate a little bit. You'll find some things that are maybe hindering the healing process, and you'll be able to clear out the clutter, move forward. That way, that will move the healing process forward. I'll tell you, it's like every time that I tap on something and I bring my body and I reduce my heart rate, I lower my blood rate, you just come into a place of greater harmony when you tap. And they can prove all this stuff on functional MRI machines and stuff like that. They can actually see that the brain light up or not light up or change colors and stuff, or they determine that. They can actually see this, see how this stuff happens and watch it happen in real time. So you can actually be having someone that's having a stressor, constant stressor, and it's, oh man, this stressor is so strong, and it's like, man, and their brain is lit up, because the amygdala, it's all lit up, it's getting ready to pump cortisol into the blood system, it's like it's getting ready to fight or flight, you get that all wound up. What do you do with it? You got to do something with that. You got to be able to wind it down. It's great to be able to wind that up when you need it. When you don't need it, you got to be able to wind it down. One way to wind it down is tap it down. You can tap it down so quickly because the amygdala it was all revved up and ready to fight. As soon as it gets the signal to stand down, it immediately starts to calm down. Immediately. It may take a few more minutes, seconds or minutes, maybe for everything to kick in and your body fully to feel refreshed. Sometimes it helps to take a deep breath. Helps some sort of exchange take place there. Always helps to tap, to relax as you tap. But coming down from a state of fight or flight is done a lot easier when you tap, because you can tap it down. You can tap somebody down instantly out of fight or flight. But the more I tap concerning my body's healing process, the more my body calms down. When your body's calm, it just does what it's designed to do. It heals. Very thankful for the tapping process at this point. So those are some tools that, a little refresher on some of the tools, and maybe a little new information on the tapping there. Maybe we could throw in some additional stuff. Affection. Affection is king. Man, if you got somebody that's affectionate, that shakes your hands, hugs your necks, or if you're in a group where they're hugging and they're touching, man, just go and be affectionate. If you got a dog that likes to sit by you, or a cat. I have a cat. I don't have a dog right now. Well, I have a dog. It's just at a different house. But I have a dog. I have a dog that lives with me. And my cat lives with me that came with this house. When I sit somewhere, the cat comes over and sits by me like a dog. I never had a cat do that. I thought cats did their own thing. The cat's affectionate. I get love. I get affection from the cat. So it's kind of cool. But anytime you can get affection is a healthy, normal part of the healing process. Don't go pay for affection. That's extreme cases. Guys pay for affection. If you can get some normal affection without paying for it, go ahead and try to get it. Get in a group where they're touchy and feely, and just go to a church where they at least get up and shake your hand. When they offer a symbol of peace, to everybody. Some other churches, they actually hug, so go to a place, get involved with a group where normal affection is being exchanged. It's a healthy part of life. Or when you start seeing your family, start hugging them. You start seeing your brothers and military brothers, hug them, pat them on the back, share some affection. It's all good. It's good and healthy. Pets, a good source of affection. My dogs were valuable. When I got back from deployment, I had 2 pit bulls waiting for me, and they became my best friends. One was 12, and then one was 13 at the time. So, in a very short amount of time, they were gone. I lost my great friends. One I traveled around with. I took him to 26 states, and in one day he peed in 3 states. That was pretty good for a dog. Left his mark. We had a great time with that dog, and dogs are a great source of companionship, affection, loyalty. Oh, they know you. They read you well. They read you perfectly. So people say a dog can sense danger. No, they sense when you sense danger. They read you. So the dog reads you well. They know when you're sad. They know when you're grumpy. They know when you need a nudge on the leg. The dog knows. Get a dog if you need it. Anyhow, I think that's enough for this little segment. I'm Chaplain Joe. Prepare to live. I'm here to get you home.